What was something that we found difficult with that?
Hands.
The fence is always weird when you're not accustomed to doing it. What else?
Coming up with stuff to say sometimes.
Come up with things to say. I would say the other thing, especially from the outside looking in, is trying to not make all of your words and mannerisms escalatory, right? And appear, filled with anxiety, right? Because that's not how you probably have almost every interaction that you have normally, right? Like everyone here, I assume, is old enough to go to the bar. Like, how many times have you gone to the bar and, as you turn around with your beer to walk back to the table and there's somebody there that you just feel instant, anxiety, probably never, right? I mean, especially if you're a beer or two, deep, but probably never, right? Because you're in a social situation and you're accustomed to it, right? But in training, everybody they immediately ramp themselves up to 9.5 because they know that they're training. They think the guy's going to come at them right away. So one, keep working through, the hand stuff. And like I said, for training purposes, if all your shit looks really awkward and mechanical, it's better than having no fence. But like I said, the best verbal and physical management of people is when they don't know that they're being managed by you, right? We're kind of talking about this with Aaron, is that one, this is the difference between, so for example, so if I got Cindy here, right? So it's the difference between, if I'm crying out loud here, right? So if I'm dealing with Cindy, it's just being hey, having this conversation, yeah, hey bro, listen, I don't know what store that you're looking for. I'm guessing if you go this way, there's a lot of shops over there. So, if there's something that you're looking for, the chances that it's over there are pretty good, but I'll be honest, I'm not from here. I kind of don't know. I can't really help you, sorry, I got to go this way. Okay. Thank you. Right. That's fairly well relaxed versus my hands are kind of up around my face, but kind of moving relative. And I am not a hand talker at all. Now, what if I have the same interaction, but I'm hey, I don't know where the shop is, that you're looking for. There's some shops over there, so if you go that way, you could probably find what you're looking for. But anyway, I gotta get back going this way, so I'm gonna head out that way. Who thinks that looks not combative? That looks combative as hell, right?
Absolutely.
Now, but from a conceptual standpoint, did I do anything different? I stood there, I said the same words, same tone of voice, hands up around my face, but it was just my body language. It was just how I stood there. So that's the thing to try to work your way through, not only when you're out being you just normally, but when you're doing security stuff, right? And this is something we'll kind of role play ourselves through. But if every time that you go out in the parking garage because there's somebody walking through there who looks like they're kind of lost, and you're excuse me, sir, do you work in HDR? Do you work in the building here, right? That is that's combative, right? It's real combative. And he probably feels one of two things. He's probably dude, this dude is acting real weird. I need to get out of there. Or he probably feels immediately defensive, and you're kind of tripping that combative, the ego part of him that's hey, I don't know why this guy's trying to push me this way, but I'm going to push back because that's kind of natural. Versus hey, I see you out in the parking garage. Someone just said there was somebody who looked like they were kind of a little lost. Do you work in the building?
No.
No? Oh, okay. Do you need some help finding a parking spot, or are you going to the cafe downstairs? Or are you just looking for parking for the cafe?
Yeah, just trying to get my
Oh, perfect. Yeah, listen. Everyone kind of messes this up sometimes. So this floor is only for employees of the engineering building. But if you go back out where you came in and you park on the first floor down there, that's totally open public parking. You can park down there, anytime, day or night. Cool?
Gotcha.
You need any help from me, bud?
No, I'm good.
All right, cool. If you need anything else, hey, you can hit that call button that's on the arms over there, where you came in at the door. Someone will answer that. Somebody can help you. Or if you see me out here roaming around, you can come ask me any questions you got, okay? Hey, thanks, bud. Right? Real simple, and that's an actual interaction that you would probably have, where we typically work at, right? But very, very normal versus if I did everything, like that. So that's something that I want you guys to kind of keep in mind, and we're gonna go play this out again. And then 1 second, please. And then the other thing that I didn't kind of bring up is I want you guys to try to converse in language that is natural for you, right? So one, if you try to hood yourself up and you're not hood, it's going to come off as really disingenuous, for one, and people are going to pick up on that. But also, you're probably going to look more lost on your feet and lost verbally than you would normally, right? If Jared over here tries to all of a sudden start just, North Omaha gangstered up, I'm going to be bro, absolutely not, right? That's not who you are, right? but he can interact with anybody in town in his normal verbiage, right? Provided that he, utilizes kind of the stuff that we're talking about, and just has, decent like physical, like self-confidence, and just kind of, follows the script, the ask, the tell, the command, ask, tell, yell, and has this good fence up, and just interacts like a normal human being. But if he immediately starts using words he's not familiar with, yo, Holmes, I get it, bud. Like, we're out here, and like, I get it. Like, you're looking for your whip around the corner over here. Like, you can tell my brain is trying to find words, like right now. Like, I live in the sticks in Iowa, man. Like, I don't talk like that. So that's something to kind of keep in mind. And then now when we get to we'll add now the yell component or the command component. That's also a good time to add swear words in there, but swear words that like one are sharp, that can be concise, but also something that is not a personal attack. So think of something along the lines of fucking stop, back the fuck up, something like that versus stop fucker, or something to that extent, right? Because now I made this a personal attack versus just me expressing myself verbally, in kind of some colloquialisms. Does that make sense? Okay, so now I want you guys to have different partners, so switch your partners up. We're gonna do the same thing again, but now I want the partner to, not every single rep, but I want the partner to push you into the yell or push you into the command phase. And I want you guys to keep going after, I don't want every interaction to just be, hey, could you hold up right there? Thanks, bud, end scene, right? I want you to have some up, some down, right? And kind of work through yourself on that. That way you're having to kind of, moderate your own verbal level and your own kind of aggressive levels and, kind of work through more on your feet. Is that good to go? So new partners or new groups, same thing, add go into the third level stuff here.
Reaching for a sidearm.
Right? And so work, like when you got up to that volume, like that was good. But the one thing that you never did in that whole time was you never asked him to just stay right there. Right? So, I mean, I'm not saying that it would have stopped, him, given like the scenario or whatever, but start like simple, but make sure it has like a hard boundary. And that's kind of that's sort of the underlying, it's so stupid that it's genius, which is like, hey, could you stop? What does that mean? Stop what? Stop breathing? Stop walking? Stop moving your hands? Stop chewing gum? Could you hold up right there? That is a ask. I asked you to hold up right there. So just, it's a subtle difference, but it means everything. Does that make sense? Yeah. Hey, let's get one more rep, and we'll bring it back up here, guys.
You need to stay in one spot. You ends it so nicely, concisely.
Yeah. And that's where and you just need to work on the not looking so combative part of it, which is, I get it. It can be difficult when you the good thing that you have going for you is that if it gets into bite mode, you have abilities to bite that other people don't. But it's also
guy when he said he had a gun.
What's that? I didn't mean actual bite. Oh, yeah. I meant figuratively, barking and biting. But
I already knocked this kid out, and he's like, I got a gun, so I reached out.
Yeah, but just for you is the big thing is to try to work on not interacting and your friggin' stance, because you don't want it to, you don't want your body language to write checks that your mouth is trying not to, right? Because I'm trying to be hey, bro, just calm down, whatever.
Speed
but
I didn't talk about speed, so he's coming in pretty quick, and I'm here already, because he's coming in.
And that's where skip steps, hey, could you hold up right there? Stop! Skip.
Backpedal. Hey, stop!
I would circle him, and that's something we're going to talk about next. But as opposed to constantly backing up, that's where I would circle him. I would step myself out. I mean, one, that's a natural thing to you, fight wise, but also all the reasons why we circle. As far as not getting yourself tripped up, staying off the center line, and that sort of stuff, and also allowing me to see my environment a little bit better. Hey, let's bring it up, guys.